Hello everyone, time for another What's in the Box. This time, not a model kit, but some paint. Uh, let's open it. Let's see what's in there. It is pretty heavy. Ugh. And if you, again, saw the thumbnail, you know what's in this box. And without further ado, slice it open. Came pretty quick, but since it has to be shipped by ground, it is from Monument Hobbies. Let's talk about that in a second. What do we got here? Receipt, packing paper. It is, put that aside for a second. Ooh. So we have the new primers and varnish, clear matte varnish from Monument Hobbies. So let's get these out. Ugh. Put this off to the side. Bam. All right. I also got the Nova Orange, which, come on. New cameras are coming soon, people. Nova Orange. There we go. Nova Orange. Not going to talk about that. It's orange paint. So here we have, first thing, clear matte varnish. New formula, new spray from Superior Hobby Primer from their line. Clear matte varnish, matte white primer, matte black primer, and matte gray primer. This is what I think I got these little Sam. Let's see. I got these little Sams. I figure since it's Halloween season, I found these over on Cults. I'll put a link below. I'll look up the sculpture, and when we get to it, I'm going to prime a bunch of these and compare them, and just to give you an idea what the colors actually look like. And then real quick, I want to give a quick comparison. Citadel colors, Chaos Black. Where is their size comparison? You're getting that much more. Let's take the tops off so we don't get confused. This one has a sticker on there. Get that off. There we go. Ugh. Pull that off. All right. There is the can of Chaos Black. There is your Pro Acryl. You get more in this can for less money. This can, there's the Pro Black where I bought this. $20. All right, for this can. It's still my favorite black. Let's see if Monument Hobbies can outdo that. I do like these really thick things. This might be an old top because I've seen some that don't have that anymore, that have more of this style. But for my old cripple hands, I love these much better. So I'm going to test each one of these colors out. I'm going to spray one in Chaos Black as well to kind of test it, to compare. And then we'll get right back to it. Going to prime a bunch of these. We'll be back. All right, everybody, I'm back. I just spent some time priming some pieces. And again, the piece that I chose is this Sam from Trick or Treat. And it's from Jules Modelado or Modelado, JULLESMODELADO over on Cults 3D. I will put a link in the description down below. Again, I get no kickback there at all. And this is not a sponsored video in any way. Bought all these with my own money to test them out and give you guys an idea, and girls, an idea of how the colors look in person. So I primed each one. I did some of my primers that I had laying around the house and the new Pro Acryl spray matte primers. So, and I'm going to get into the matte varnish a little later on. So here's what we got. Here is the matte white. Matte white. Zoom in. Get in there. Get in there, camera. I don't know what's going on with you lately. That is the white. And that is a kick butt white. It turned out really, really nice. And I just did 2 light dustings. Nothing more than that. Two coats only. So that is a great. There's no sheen whatsoever. My camera's having a hard time picking it up. That is my Sam in matte white. There we go. A little better. Now, I used another one. This is another white primer I had laying around the house. This automotive Duplicolor, white as well. This goes on really thin, and it tends to go into the cracks a little more and kind of fill up in a, like, not almost like a filler primer, even though it really isn't. The difference here between the two, I'm going to pop these out of the way. I don't know why I'm getting so much background noise. The difference between the two is I think the Pro Acryl is more white. And I don't know if you can see it on camera. Maybe you can focus. There we go. The white on the right is the Pro Acryl. This is the Duplicolor. This in person has a tint of like off-white or almond to it. And this, the Pro Acryl, feels a little more pure white, a little more titanium white, maybe with a touch of like blue in it. But if you're looking for a pure white, you cannot go wrong with this matte white primer from Pro Acryl. And it dries super fast. This stuff still feels a little sticky. You can kind of feel it on there. This feels like it's just ready to go. Okay, with the same amount of dry time, really. So there's that. This is the gray, the matte gray, and I love this color. Like, it is a just nice, really nice, simple dark gray. There is absolutely no sheen to that. Coverage, again, was awesome. Just, it's a little darker, too, in person when I'm looking at it versus on camera. It is a gorgeous gray primer. And again, no sheens. It feels right. It's ready to go. It's not sticky in any way. There's no glossy parts, but it just turned out, I think, awesome. I love this gray primer. I have a feeling I'll be using that a lot. But here's what I was really blown away by. The black. So the matte black primer, okay? This is what you get. This is the flattest black primer I have ever seen in my life. And I love it. Now here's the compare contrast. Real quick, I'm going to compare it to the Chaos Black from Citadel so you can see up close the difference. And you can tell right away how flat this is, the Pro Acryl, versus, and look, it won't pick it up, versus the Chaos Black. This is super satiny, super satin. Like there is you can totally tell. Look how shiny that is. Now, some people like that. I don't. I always liked it. This was the closest I could get to this, but now this is the black I'm going for. This is crazy how flat this is. So I wanted to do another test. So we have this Chaos Black, okay? I went and took the Max Darth paint from Green Stuff World, and I wanted to put it close to this. Now, yes, this looks blacker because it's ridiculous. This has a nice sort of matte feel in person as each other. This does not give off any sort, like this is crazy. Look at the difference. So look at that shine versus this. And again, I'm having focusing issues. That's why I'm kind of floating around between things. So this is, again, Chaos Black, Max Darth, super black, but not what you want. This is an awesome matte black. This my go-to black primer from now on, period. End of story. And again, you get more. Here's, pop the lid off. My only complaint, if I have one and it's super dumb, is the stickers that hold the cap on are so sticky. Still, after taking them off, I'm going to constantly be getting stuck to it. It's my only complaint. But other than that, look, you get that much more for less money, and you get a better product. I really, really love this flat black. So here's what I also did. I wanted to compare this gray. This is the Mr. Surfacer 1000 gray. And it's a great primer. Which this can alone, this can cost, I think, about $10 or more, versus this is $20. There's your size difference. And your two grays, I mean, the Mr. Surfacer has the same sort of sheen to it. But this is the gray from Pro Acryl. This is that Mr. Surfacer gray. Of course, it's a lighter gray. But I love it. I love these new colors. So here's what else I did. I went ahead and did a Zenithal with all three of the Pro Acryl, like that, just straight out of the can. And that's what I got. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run some contrast colors over this. So I get a quick paint job. And they tend to dry with a little bit of sheen in the puddles. So I want to test the matte varnish as well. So that's my Zenithal. And then the other thing I'm going to try and do is I sprayed some super glossy. Look how crazy that is. A clear, crazy gloss as a stress test for the matte varnish. And I'm going to run it half down the middle and use the Bear, which we've kind of been using here on the Garage Kit side of things. The Bear Chalk flat matte varnish versus the Pro Acryl matte varnish. And see if it can knock that shine down at all. Be back in a minute. Okay, real quick. First step in the stress test. This side, and it's hard to pick up on camera. Maybe I shouldn't have used orange, but I put a piece of masking tape for this side, sprayed this side with the matte varnish from Pro Acryl, and it really did knock that shine back quite a bit. You can totally tell right there down the middle. Come on, camera. There's the shine. It's gone. There is a slight satin to it, but it's not nearly as shiny as the other side. So maybe like another light coat. I did just mist it on there. I'm pretty happy with that. It really did knock that shine off, as you can tell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover up this side and hit this side with the Bear, and I'll be right back. Okay. All right. For the big reveal. First off, I want to talk about this color. Let's get it on this camera. The Signature Series Black, Green, Brown. I love this color. It's a color I think I've made a billion times that I use for a lot of different stuff. So it's great that it comes in a bottle basically now. Really, really love this color. I also did test out the new Nova Orange, and you can kind of see it in there. The center is that Nova Orange, and on the drip on the right is the plain orange. You can kind of see the difference in there between the two. It's a little more muted. It's along the lines of the, what is the orange that it's in? Oh, Jacaro? Is it Jacaro? The Nova Orange reminds me, yeah, a little bit of the Jacaro from Citadel, but I like it. Not as vibrant as your regular orange. Okay, so here was the matte varnish test. This side, and it's really hard to tell. Maybe this was the best gloss color I had, though. This is the Bear side. This is the matte varnish from Pro Acryl on that side. And the Pro Acryl, I think, is flatter than the Bear. It's a very slight edge, I would think, to the Monument Hobbies Pro Acryl spray matte varnish. And here's the thing. It comes in a bigger can. You get more for your money at that point. And then I also went ahead and used some Pro Acryl paints and some speed paints, not speed paints, contrast paints, to paint up this SAM. And then I hit it with, this is literally a 20-minute, 15-minute paint job. And I hit it with the matte varnish. It did a really good job of knocking those colors back. That was mostly, again, you get sometimes a little bit of a sheen in some of the deeper areas with some of the contrast paints. I used that black, brown, green for some of the stitching, and I didn't do a lot of highlighting. It was just, I wanted to just test that varnish over some colors, and I really think that that turned out really nice. It is not shiny anywhere at all. I love this new stuff. So kudos to Pro Acryl on some awesome new things. One last thing. This was the Citadel Chaos Black that I hit with the matte varnish, and it took that sheen right off. Now these stands that I did for each one of these, I did all of these in Chaos Black. So now you can see the kind of the difference. This is, the sheen's a little still there, but it's gone. It really is. This is no varnish at all. This has the Chaos Black with the matte varnish from Monument Hobbies over it. This is the Monument Hobbies straight out the can. You can see a little bit of a difference there. Let's get up nice and close. A little bit of difference. Still flatter, but holy cow, I'm loving this stuff. I'm excited. I'm really excited. Let me flip the camera around. There you have it. There's my color tests. There's some other little minor tests that I did. I don't think you can go wrong with these new matte primers. They're awesome. I really, really like them. Get my endorsement from Model Club TV, the matte varnish. Since Tester's dull coat went away, it's been hard trying to find stuff. And this, you get a giant can that I think does an excellent job, on par with the Bear. The black is just outstanding, and I love this dark gray. I love this dark gray. Both of these, all of these are fantastic. So I wouldn't hesitate picking up a couple cans of any of the colors. The white is fantastic as far as a pure white goes. It's beautiful stuff. Well done, Monument Hobbies. Keep making great products. I really, really, really like this stuff. I'm glad you took a chance. The one thing I didn't mention is it's made in conjunction with support. What do they say? Made in collaboration with Color Forge. So those of you who don't know, over here on this side of the pond, over in the States, Color Forge is out of Great Britain, and they do some big cans of primer, and they're hard to find over here in the States. Some specialty hobby shops have them. You can order them, but then they have to come overseas, and they're aerosol sprays. So it's kind of tough to get them. So this is made in the UK, but then distributed here by Monument Hobbies. This is great stuff. It's really, really good stuff. The other thing I do want to say, and I wish I would have said it when I had it, when I did the Zenithal on this, you did not get the atomization of the paint out of these. You don't get the little driplets and specks of color like you get sometimes out of an airbrush, which you might want. If your airbrush is doing it right, you shouldn't get that. But from some of the other cans, you don't get as fine of a spray. And the spray coming out of these was super fine. I wet blended it. I wet blended my Zenithal I did it while it was wet. I did it while it was wet, which kind of helps a little bit. But man, look at that. That is a 5-minute paint. No, it was 20. I'll be honest. It was about a 20-minute paint job. And I think that thing turned out awesome. Monument. I love this stuff. Well done. Talk to you soon, everybody.